For us, the number one person or avatar that we're most concerned about are women, typically aged like 35 to 55 or 60-ish, kind of in that world, right? They make, or they comprise, I think, upwards of 80% of all home service purchasing decisions that are made, and are typically making the initial contact as well. So we are always considering, we call her Mrs. Jones, right? So we say, Mrs. Jones, what does Mrs. Jones like? Because you see sometimes owners are like, well, I don't really like purple. And I'm like, dude, it's not about what you like, because you're not who I'm trying to sell to, right? So just put that out of your mind. Like, I want you to like your logo, but my initial direction and strategy is based on what she likes, right? So how does the brand help her feel something about, again, that experience? And I can think of another brand that we had renamed. They used to be called 24/7 HVAC. They're in upstate New York. The funny thing is they actually didn't provide 24/7 HVAC services. So we decided to change their name to Hummingbird. And the brand that we created for them uses a lot of purples and pinks and light teals. And it's a very, very, I don't say feminine, because that's not really the right word, but it was very deliberately designed for that demographic. And huge response. It's been like really, really successful, especially to women, because it's non-threatening. It helps, again, address that concern I have about who's coming to my home. And you see some of the mistakes sometimes people make with mascots, where they've got this big, muscled, aggressive looking mascot holding the wrench, who looks like he's going to beat the shit out of you. And that's not putting Mrs. Jones at ease, right? She's already scared shitless about who's coming to her home. Like, why do I going to reinforce the fact that I'm going to have a stranger in my house, and maybe if I don't pay, I'm going to get the shit kicked out of me? Like, it's like, you would think it's common sense, but you see so many people brand like that it's kind of bizarre to me in a way when I see a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense. So from the internal marketing or internal branding for employees and for recruiting, how do you kind of connect the two, the external and the internal?
Yeah, I think that's a great thing that you have to be careful about on rebrand. You'll find that employees sometimes are not too excited about the idea of rebranding because they're very comfortable. They don't really like change. So how you communicate the why behind the rebrand and what it actually means to them is an important part of any rebrand. How it's announced and what you communicate to them about why this change is taking place. So you have to kind of remember that again, a lot of them really like stability. They don't want change. They don't understand why we're doing this or why we need to do this. Or maybe they even like the existing logo. And so we want those communications to speak to how we're reinvesting back into the company, because we want to provide for a better future for them. Like, we want to grow, we want to expand. This is the catalyst for us to be able to expand into other markets, to be able to command higher average tickets, to have better booking rates, to have better close rates. And so I think we've seen a lot of really, really great rollouts, like when they announce everything. Like, one example I have for a company that was initial base, it was called RW Garage Doors, and we rebranded them and renamed them Right Way instead of RW. And that became, again, that focal point about what it means to work for this company. Like, we will do things the right way here at Right Way Garage Door. And they had a big party, and they literally had the van in their shop covered with a huge sheet. And the owner went through the history of the company, had like a presentation, was talking about where they came from, and then talked about the future of where they were going, right? And then they literally pulled the sheet off the truck, and then they had all the swag for the people there. So they had the new uniforms and the hats done and everything like that. And they really got the people energized about what this company is going to be doing in the future and where we want to take it, and how they're a big part of what got us to where they are today, and then how they're going to be a big part of where we want to go in the future. So that rollout is really important. And then doing things even just from a culture perspective, like how is that brand live and breathe in the actual environment? So we do like a ton of wall wraps. The wall wraps, again, may really speak to that tagline or vision statements, mission statements. Like, how do we have that brand kind of live and breathe within the actual environment that they're working in, is another piece of it too. But culture is a huge component, especially how it's communicated to them and why we're doing this.